That wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So like right in front here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
And yeah, Christine, that's fine right there. I can actually see, someone would have to zoom in to see it because, yeah.
For confirmation. Okay, we're live. So Jeff Judy.
Are you MC?
Huh?
Are you MC?
Yes.
Hey Jeff, you are up.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. And my goodness, what a unique way for us to meet this year for this gathering. For those that have already signed on, let me just say what a humble privilege it is to be a part of the Snohomish Fire District 4 family. And I appreciate the opportunity to open it up with an invocation for this year's award ceremony. In this crazy time, I want to let you personally know how grateful I am on behalf of the community for the service that all of you provide to us. And at this time, if we can, I will invite us to prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this team. Thank you for protecting them as they put their lives on the line to care for our community. I ask for continued protection in this next year, especially with all of the current chaos. I pray a blessing over their families. Give our leadership wisdom and favor as they make decisions about how to best operate our firehouse. We give you thanks. It's in your loving name. I say amen.
Well, welcome everybody to the 46th annual Snohomish County Fire District 4 Awards Program. As Chaplain Judy was saying, this is most definitely a different year for us. If you've experienced our previous awards banquets, they've been totally different than this one. This year, you will actually not be seeing the recipients unless they choose to come online and give a chance to talk about their awards. So we have a few of those. I know they're doing that. Chief Simmons and I will be presenting most of the awards up here tonight, and with the help of Christine Blair with our certificates. So thank you for joining us tonight. Our next speech will come from the chairman of the board, Jim Smoker.
Good evening. Yes, this is indeed a different way to have an awards banquet. And I apologize for that. I wish we could do it differently, but the world we live in is a little different than it was last year. So one of the things that that comes to mind as I think about the recipients of awards tonight and the rest of our family, the rest of our teams, is that over the years that I've been associated with this district, I have seen literally hundreds of volunteers, part-timers, and a few career people that have come and gone. Mostly part-timers and volunteers tend to flow through. Although there's been a lot of career people that have retired in my time. One of the things that I can say about that is that there's literally hundreds of different opinions about what goes on, what's good, what's bad, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. But there's one thing that draws us all together, and that is that we all are here to serve our community and our citizens. And we do that very well. All of you do that very well. And I appreciate that. As a board chairman, as a citizen of the district, and especially one that's getting older for some strange reason. Wish I could stop that, but I can't. So I appreciate all those different opinions. It's all of those opinions put together that we listen to, all those ideas that we gain our knowledge from, and chart our course through good times and bad. And one of the things that I like to remind people of is that our citizens really do appreciate us. We get cards back from our citizens every single week, every single couple of weeks. They send these things to the chairman or to the board, and I'd read hundreds of them if I could, but I'll just pick one tonight. From a citizen. It said, very clear instructions, professional and encouraging. The time it took to get to my home and get me to Evergreen probably saved brain damage and even death. I am indebted forever. And that's the tone almost every single response we get has. And I appreciate that. Our citizens appreciate that. A couple of them talk about slow dispatch times. Typically, and that comes back to, we like to blame dispatch for a lot of things. We had in the past, one of the dispatchers was called the Dragon Lady because she had a dragon tongue and breathed fire. And if you haven't heard about her, you ask some of the old timers about her. But the dispatch, as bad as our citizens sometimes think they are, they do a good job too. So although we have different opinions, we are one team, we are here for one purpose, and we do it very well. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, for the next portion of our online awards program tonight is going to be the service awards, starting with the 2 through 20-year awards, and Battalion Chief Jason Hodgkinson is going to be talking about those awards.
Thank you, Chief Getterman. I have the honor tonight to announce our department's two-year through 20-year service awards. Since it's already been pointed out, we're living in different times right now. I'm going to present these awards a little differently tonight than we've done them in the past. I'm not going to go in order of the years, but I promise to get through all 14 service awards I am presenting, hopefully without missing anyone. Commissioner Schmoker already said it earlier about being a team, and I believe the fire service industry is set up and operates just like a sports team. Everyone plays a critical role, and we succeed or fail as a team. Whether you work in the front office or you're on the front line, you play a significant role, and we count on you to perform day in and day out. Everyone has a role to play. My favorite sport to watch is football. So for tonight, I'm going to use the positions on a football team in my analogy to the fire service. On a football team, our fire commissioners play the role of a CEO, representing the stakeholders, our taxpayers. They guide the direction of the district and are responsible for overseeing the team budget. Tonight, we celebrate Commissioner Richard Flapp for his 2 years of service. Thank you, Mr. Flapp. Every CEO and general manager needs a front office staff to execute all the day-to-day operations. And tonight we celebrate one of our own front office assistants, Samantha Larkin-Sin, for her 2 years of service. Thank you, Samantha. Next, I'll talk about the quarterback position, the prima donnas, our lieutenants. They are on the field executing the plays and looking out for their teammates, making sure they know the play and are lined up in the right position. We have some great lieutenants in our organization. We have 2 lieutenants receiving their service award tonight. Lieutenant Kurt Bartelheimer, 15 years of service, and Lieutenant Roger Whitney Mansfield, 20 years of service. Every quarterback needs good skill players on the field to be successful. Our skilled firefighters and paramedics make up the bulk of our roster, and without them, our team would fail. These individuals are the workhorses in the organization. They are executing the plays on the field. We are very fortunate to have a great group of skilled players on our team. Tonight, we have 6 such skilled players, firefighters, receiving their service awards. Celebrating 2 years of service, we have Gabe Harrington, Garrett Stitch, and sorry, it's a little bit late. We missed you last year, Kenton Lucky. Celebrating 5 years of service, we have Dave Lacey. Celebrating 10 years of service, we have Aaron Hammer, the Ginger Assassin, and recently retired Amy Johnson, as well as Brent Marty. Thank all of you guys for your years of service. Last but certainly not least are the team chaplains. They serve the team every bit as much as they serve the community. We are very fortunate at Snohomish Fire District 4 to have a top-notch chaplain program. We have 3 chaplains tonight earning their service awards. Chaplain Jeff Andrus and Jeff Judy are receiving their 2-year awards. and Chaplain Mike Usry is receiving his 5-year award. To all the chaplains, I say thank you. Because Whit is assigned to my shift, I would like to just add, Whitney, it's okay to pass the ball. You don't have to run it in every time. Like I said at the beginning, we are a team, and I'm proud to be part of this team. To all the service award recipients, thank you for your service. We could not be successful without you. Thank you.
Richard Flatt's 2-year award. Samantha Larkinson's 2-year service award. Kurt Bottleheimer, 15 years. I believe. We'll receive this plaque for his service, something that he got to help choose for himself. Whitney Mansfield is 20 years. He's chosen one of these up here for to mount in his shop or on his house. Gabe Harrington, 2-year award. Garrett Stitch, his 2-year service award, certificate, I should say. Kenton Lucky, his 2-year service award. So he's working towards his 5 now. Dave Lacey, 5-year. Dave chose a firefighter statue to be part of his service award. Aaron Hammer, 10-year award. Aaron chose a watch. This is something that's been traditional for a long time in the fire department. For 10 years, you get a watch with a steamer on it. So. Amy Johnson Wittes. She chose a plaque up here on the top for her house. Brent Marty, 10 years. Brent chose a watch. Similar, not the same to the last one, but the steamer on it. Jeff Andrus, it's a 2-year certificate for service. And Jeff Judy also received a 2-year certificate of 2 years of service to the district. And Mike Ussery receives a 5-year award and a plaque to go along with that for his 5 years of service to the district. So now we move on to our 30-year award. We have one recipient this year, Jason Hodkinson. Jason started on March 6th, 1990. As a young man looking for excitement that he'd heard about from his family and friends in the fire service. You can say that you want to be a firefighter. Well, Jason has done more than that. He started his career as a firefighter EMT and has moved up to lieutenant and now battalion chief. Jason brings loyalty to his family here at FP4, and he shares his knowledge by instructing his crews with passion. He wants them all to succeed. Jason has received several of our special awards over the years. The Officer of the Year he received for 4 different years, and Instructor of the Year 2 different years. So congratulations to Jason for his 30 years of service to Fire District 4. He's getting this plaque here and a certificate. Our next award is our 35-year award. It goes to Daryl Heike. Daryl started with the fire district on February 14th, 1985. So basically, before Ron and I were hired as a volunteer, Daryl started on Valentine's Day. Like his cousin, he had the kind of itch to serve the community and wanted to help all those that needed help, and he has that desire to do that. Daryl's taken his role pretty seriously. He's been an officer, both volunteer and full-time officer, and you better get your driving requirements done, because he is our man who makes sure that everybody's meeting the line, and where the rubber meets the road, he's right there giving us a bad time. So he wants everybody to be safe out there. So for 35 years of service, Daryl has chosen one of these federal design signs certificate.
Daryl, would you like to say anything?
I just want to take a moment to thank Ron for his service. I know that he's gotten a lot out of that today. I just want to add my 2 cents that I appreciate his time with us, and I wish him a long and healthy retirement. And for those of you that are hoping that 35 years means I'm almost done, bad news is I got 6 to 7 left. So we'll see you down the road a little bit later.
The next part of our presentation will be Chief's recognitions.
So thanks for that, Daryl. I appreciate your comments and your message that you sent me the other day. So the last few years, I've offered Chiefs Awards for people that have stood out in some manner during the year. And 2019, although not uneventful, was not our 2018, which we saw a lot of disaster, a lot of mayhem in 2018, and we had people standing out right and left. Not to say that we didn't do the same thing in 2019, but 2019 is a little bit differently because I knew I was leaving, and for the most part, for me to single out individuals, which I intend to do a couple, was really difficult because so many of you have stood out over the years, stood up and did a lot of good things for the district, for the community, and it was hard for me to make a choice. But knowing that I was going to be leaving, quite honestly, I wanted to give everybody something. I wanted to say thank you in some way, shape, or form, to let everybody know that I've appreciated their efforts over the years. And that's just not practical to do. So what I wanted to do tonight is just walk down a brief list of my thoughts about the way things have gone and offer my thanks in a different manner. The first thing that I would probably do, the first thing I am going to do is I have to start out with a group of individuals that continues to stand out. And I think I've expressed this over and over again, but we have 5 chaplains that are not first responders, but give us so much recognition in the community for the service that they perform virtually free. It's hard for me not to say enough about these people. Dana and Margie, Mike, as they're called, J, Jeff, and G, Jeff. You guys, I'm going to have a hard time forgetting your faces because it just stands out every time I think about you guys going out and spending hours upon hours with the people that we had to deal with in very bad times. You really put a great face on this department, and I'm going to miss that, and I hope the department can keep. Mike was in a bad position when he came in as deputy chief because he didn't know what he was going to do, and I didn't know what he was going to do, and we kind of made things up, and he learned it on the run. And I don't know how I would have survived through those first few years without Mike being there. So my other Chiefs Award would have gone to Mike. Christina and Sherry, Sam, and now Christine in the front office, even though Chris has only been there a couple of months. I said it this morning at the flag ceremony. These people keep this office and this department running. We may be getting out the doors to the emergencies, but they're keeping the paychecks in our hands and keeping the benefits coming and keeping the bills paid. That's what keeps the doors open. So thank you for all your efforts. The officers and the paramedics and the firefighters, this department continues to receive accolades from our customers, your patients, the people that you go out and see. And it's all about the good work that you've done and continue to do on a regular basis, on a daily basis. And it's a benefit to the district in that our public face is due to your good efforts. And I ask that you continue to do that. And that officer, that Chiefs Award would be for each one of you. In 2019, there were a couple of things that happened that made me look at individuals. And it's difficult for me to single them out from everybody else. But on the other hand, I think what occurred was enough to recognize. We hired a new individual and put them through a recruit academy, the Snohomish County Recruit Academy, and that individual performed outstanding to the point where at the ceremony afterwards, I had chief after chief in this county walk up to me and claim that they were going to hire that individual and take them away from us. Claire Wolfenden stood out amongst a group of young men and basically put some guys in their places. And my Chiefs Award for Claire is for her performance and her professionalism. And I thank her for going above and beyond, making District 4 look really good in the face of the other districts in the county. Secondly, we promoted, and I'll say promoted because as far as I'm concerned, that's what we did. We promoted somebody to a position of responsibility, and that individual took on the task and has done nothing but excel. He's completed work that we needed to have done. He's looking out for the best interest of the district in that people's certifications are maintained. He took on a task that the Chiefs, for some reason, took years to come up with, and that was create an MCI trailer that wasn't a trailer anymore. It's on a vehicle with an engine. Makes it a lot more usable for us, and basically the other districts in the county have the opportunity to get it in a heartbeat as well. Neil Bromley, we promoted to MSO. He has taken this role on. He has taken responsibility for the actions that needed to be taken to make us what we are today. The paramedics and the EMTs should look up to him as the guy who's going to keep things going. And so I would offer a Chiefs Award to Neil Bromley tonight as well. And thank you all for all of the work you've done, not only for 2019, but for all my years here. So we move on to our next awards. Thank you.
We now come up to the time where we do our presentation for the special awards. The first one tonight is Rookie of the Year. The person who is nominated for this award is dedicated to helping others, is always willing to pitch in, is a hard worker, always has a smile, and works hard to be the best firefighter in Fire District 4. So this year's Rookie of the Year is Jose Islas. Congratulations, Jose. Our next award is the Instructor of the Year, and I believe we have somebody coming on to talk with us about that.
Craig, you need to unmute yourself and turn your camera on.
Got me.
You're live, Greg.
Hi, everybody. Training Officer Greg Osborne. I have the honor of presenting the Instructor of the Year Award. I want to say a couple of quick things. Top qualities of an effective instructor. First question comes to mind, is an instructor a teacher? The answer is absolutely yes. Skills needed to be an effective instructor. They need to have a positive attitude. They need to be prepared when they're teaching. Sometimes, however, they can go on the fly. They need to be able to do both. Need to be organized. What are we going to teach? What are we going to instruct? Who's the audience? In our case, it's our members. Sometimes it's an individual, sometimes it's a group. They've got to be clear and have good expectations. They've got to be active in our business, active firefighters, active fire officers. They've got to be patient with people. And by gosh, they got to have a heck of a lot of fun doing what they're doing. So, the Instructor of the Year this year goes to...
Okay, it goes to Chris Gervais. Congratulations, Chris. Instructor of the Year. Our next award is the Officer of the Year. And I don't believe that Sean got on. So Sean was not able to talk tonight. He wanted to, but he prepared something for me. So he starts right out with saying who it is. So we're going to get to the bottom of this right away, but he'll have some good words here. Congratulations, Sean Osborne, Officer of the Year. Sean started at the district in 1991. Since that time, Sean has been involved in leadership at many levels. Sean has been the president of the Silver Dollar Club, volunteer lieutenant of Crew 9, B-Shift lieutenant, former city council member, and now local 2694 union president. Sean is engaged in our labor union, focused on training new employees, and works hard to make this organization better. Sean brings accountability and leadership to the table while listening to new ideas and never being afraid to ask the difficult questions. I'd like to read a couple of the nominations submitted for Sean Osborne, Officer of the Year. One nomination, Sean is dedicated leader of District 4. He has been involved in the training of our new employees for a while now. He takes his training very seriously and expects everyone else to do so as well. The second submittal was, Sean is someone I know I can count on to make good decisions and keep me safe. Sean mentors young members as well as experienced members and always pushes people to do their best. Congratulations, Sean Osborne, 2019 Officer of the Year. Our next presentation of special awards is going to be for EMS Provider of the Year, and Claire Wolfenden will be coming online to show us that. Talk about that.
All right, I'm going to get right to it. It's my pleasure to pass this award on to a member of our department who has spent many, many years providing quality service. This individual I've always seen show up with continual high energy and an amount of motivation that would be impressive for someone with even half their tenure, as well as showing a desire to help train and educate new EMTs and medics alike, which builds a stronger team for our community. Your EMS Provider of the Year is Dave Alberts.
Okay, our next presentation is for part-time firefighter of the year. Tim Dowdy worked really hard to try to get online, but could not make it work. So he sent us a written text to read. Tim says, I have the pleasure of giving the next award for part-time firefighter of the year. This year, winning is an amazing person, always early for shift, always ready to learn something new, always listening. Make sure everything is done for the next shift and the rigs restocked and refueled. Just a great person to be around, super positive and extremely funny. I love this guy. This year's part-time firefighter of the year is the one and only Jose Islas. Congratulations, Jose. Well, we have part-time firefighter of the year is Brian Heike.
And Garrett Lane is up next.
Hi, everybody. Here to offer the Career Firefighter of the Year. First of all, congrats to Chief Simmons, and thank you very much for hiring me. You're the chief who hired me, and I appreciate it. The Career Firefighter of the Year, you have to be the second set of eyes for your officer. Very important role, and it's kind of that fine line where you need to be a follower as well as a leader. You need to follow the officer in front of you and the chiefs in front of you, and also lead the people behind you so they can come into your role. It's also the best job that you can have because you get to have all the fun with none of the paperwork. So the Career Firefighter of the Year this year is
Okay, John Stewart, firefighter of the year. Okay, now we move on to our retirement awards. Chief Simmons is going to present Mark Hence's retirement award.
So in 2004, we had a little bit of an upheaval here at the district, and Mark Hintz was elected commissioner. He came in under some stressful times, took a lot of heat. He and Commissioner Portman, Commissioner Powers, for a few months were basically under the gun. It was a contentious period of time, but Mark took some leadership role in this whole thing, and he started down a path of wanting to rebuild things. Now, I will tell all of you that Mark is not on tonight because he's working. So I'm going to make this kind of brief. But over the last years, you know, Mark went out of his way to try and be positive, try and present a united front from the standpoint of the commissioners. It wasn't long before we brought Commissioner Schmoker in. And I've said this before, but I think the three of them together were a team that worked well together. They didn't agree on everything, but they agreed on a lot of things. And what they agreed on most was there was a practical way to move us down the road that represented the best interests of the community, and also worked with the firefighters and our staff to keep things going along well. It took us a while to come out of the hole kind of from the public perception standpoint, but Mark played a leadership role in that. And he worked well. Actually, the four of us worked really well together, doing the best for the district. I appreciated Mark's efforts. Mark is a politician, and we knew that, and he came out and he kind of pushed that role aside and worked well with our group. So even though Mark really didn't retire, Mark lost the election in last November, it's kind of a retirement from the standpoint was Mark knew that he had some more to give. He just really wasn't sure how it was going to come across. And so what we offered him, Mark flag with our challenge coin, and it says, in recognition for 15 years of dedicated service to the residents of Snohomish County Fire District 4, 2004 to 2019. So please, if you have the opportunity to see Mark, thank him for his service, and we'll get this presented to him. Thanks.
So next, we're going to talk about the other retirement that's going on this year. This is, as you all know, Chief Simmons is retiring. So trying to put some things down. I mean, we have been here about the same amount of time. Ron started 2 weeks his career here before I did. And so there's been a lot of things going on, but I didn't know a lot about his early career. I know that he was a volunteer and that he worked for, I put down an ambulance jockey, but I think he worked for Ballard's for a while. And like to go out and chase wildfires in the summer. I'm pretty sure at some point somebody says, hey, why don't you think about doing this for a living? And as we heard earlier, someone thought he should be a postman, but being a fireman is the way he went. I think it's because he likes serving people. He thrives on that. So Ron started here on November 11th, 1985. As we heard today, 34 years, 9 months, and 20 days. So that's where we're at with that. There's many stories about our time together here. There's the first fire with the flashover. There's the 2 baby mannequins in his bottom drawer file. I think that was when Marty was pregnant. I have pictures. Artificial pages sent to him that the chief wanted to talk to him when we were drilling, and actually starting to transport in real ambulances, because originally we were transporting in converted vans. Ron's been here through some major changes for the program. He's been here from when he was hired by the city fire department, and we changed to a fire district. We saw volunteer to part-time. We saw EMT to paramedic, and more stations added. His interest as a fire investigator has served our district and the city well, but he's always really enjoyed working with people. He wants to make sure that people work together and work for this community. As he progressed through the ranks, I got this part earlier, but he wasn't really sure that fire chief was one of the things that was on his list. But as he started proceeding up, I think it showed it in his leadership style, and then the commissioners thought it was a good idea, and they made him chief. So there's several things on his bucket list that he said he hasn't completed. I'm glad he left us a couple so we can work on those. I've especially enjoyed my time working closer with him in this administration, and can see him in a different light than most people do. So it's going to be new for us as we are still working towards our retirement. Chief Simmons, congratulations on your retirement. Stay up here for a second, because this is not the real one.
You said you didn't want any.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy crap, that ain't anything.
Thank you. All right. Congratulations. Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it. Well, I don't know where I'm gonna put this.
In your garage. We can somewhere.
Put it on the outside of the house.
You get both of them.
Jeez. All right. Well,
You said you didn't want much, so we started with not much.
okay. Well, there's a huge difference between that one and that one.
Can you show, let's show it really for everybody.
So we'll make this kind of a thank you and a closing comments. So yeah, 35 years, 9 months, 20 days. No way I expected to be chief of this department. Some of you have heard the story. I kind of bullied my way to a point where somebody 20 years ago said, by the way, you're going to be deputy chief. You just decided what your role is going to be here. Things went on from there. Chief Mark Collins was here today, and we had a conversation. And neither one of us in 2004 expected that we were going to move on in this department. And we were both sad at that time because we had a lot we wanted to offer. And thankfully at that time, the commissioners chose to let us take off. I've said this to some, and I don't know, Chief, is something that if I had to do this over again, I would try for. Because in some sense, I think the firefighters have more control to move things along than the fire chief does. Yeah, I felt restricted over a few years just because of the way our system works. If we didn't have bureaucracy, we wouldn't have anything. And so from the standpoint of retrospect, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it again. But since I did, I think most of you know, like Mike said, my biggest thing has been our people. Not only you people, but the public. We are public servants. We serve at the pleasure of the public. We serve at the pleasure of the commissioners. We have to keep that foremost in our mind because that's our role. We gave up our personal desires when we started working for the public. And although some of that is still out there, this fire district has changed a lot. But the goal has always been the same. We serve the public's interests. In their worst case scenarios, we go out and you guys do what you do best by serving the best interests of the public. And I got to thank you for that. Several people today said, well, you know, we never agreed on certain things. And that's right. But if we always agreed on everything, I don't know that we'd accomplish a whole lot. It seems like there's got to be a little contention in the mix to make things work. That just seems like it's always been the way we have to do it. So I'm walking out of here. I think I'm walking out, leaving things in good hands. Mike's still going to hang around for a couple of years, which that's great. And once we can get Chief Waller to stop hurting himself, hopefully he can get in the saddle and be out here and keep everything going. In the meantime, he's going to be desk bound. But I think he's up for the challenge. And I think if the majority you allow him to, you can see that he's going to move things along just like we were before our world changed. So thank you for everything. Thanks for the support that people have given me. You know, to some degree, thanks for the contention that we've had. One of the stressors I'm not going to have to worry about anymore, but it served its purpose to some degree. So thanks to everybody, and we'll leave this to Margie to close out.
Oh, I got one request here to bring this picture closer so that people can see it. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to make sure that we thank the people that helped put all this together. Christina, with all the awards work, and the office people that helped her, Sherry and Christine. For my IT team, Chief Waller and Chief Shear in the other building, and for the commissioners for letting us put this on for you. And now we'll have our benediction. Captain Jacobson.
Good evening. As we close tonight, I just want to say my thanks to Chief Ron Sims for supporting us as chaplains and for developing our chaplain program. And also, we wouldn't have Support 43 if it wasn't for Chief Simmons. And it is one way that we can support our whole team as well as the families that we work with. And it works out and it's great. So thank you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the Lord, bring his kindness unto you and give you his peace. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you for attending this year's program. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Good night.